Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. I want to remind you today that you're enough, exactly as you are right now. And everything you're working on will succeed, my friend. Everything you're working on will succeed. If you don't stop, it will succeed. So it's just a simple reminder that we often forget, especially at the times we are the most hard on ourselves. We say, well, I have to work harder. I have to push harder. Even when we've done so much, we say, oh, I have to work harder. And I'm not against hard work. I'm a hard worker. But I needed to learn to also slow down. I have this rule that says when it gets hard, be easy on yourself. When it gets easy, be hard on yourself. But if it's always hard, then you're doing something wrong. And if it's always easy, then again you're doing something wrong. So we have to constantly keep a certain balance in our lives, right? And self-acceptance is something that truly teaches us to recognize and acknowledge where we are. Like, if our life sucks right now, let's admit it to ourselves. Okay, my life sucks right now. My situation sucks. I will not pretend it's okay. I will not pretend it's nice if it's not. So slow down and say, okay, yeah, this sucks. This truly sucks. And then step by step, how can I resolve this? Where can I start? That's how we are dealing with everything. That's why we should accept where we are. We should accept ourselves. All aspects of us. I am completely perfect right now. I have some flaws. I have many good things. I have some traumas. I have some limiting beliefs. But that's what is making me myself right at this moment. That's who I am right now. And when we accept that, we can acknowledge what we are willing to work on for the next season. Let's say tomorrow starts a new season of the project of the self, right? Acknowledging and becoming more that you can be. Self-actualization. But it starts right here, right now. Know whatever you're working on, you will succeed if you don't stop. If you don't stop, things will eventually work. And I can tell you that because that's what I did in the past. Many of you know that I've started this painting project. I Draw My Passion brand, and later it became AttractPassion. I've started it out of nothing, with no money. Actually, my first paintings were not created on canvas because I couldn't afford it. So I did it on my own. I've made my own wooden frames on which I've stretched cotton sheets that I got from Maya's, my partner's grandma. She gave to me her old cotton sheets on which I've created my first paintings. And I bought the cheapest possible colors with which I've learned to paint. So I've learned to paint with really little money. And that's how I begin to recognize that actually you don't need much to start. And you don't need the most incredible equipment to become good at something. You can actually start from scratch. That's what it means, right? In hip-hop, they say you start from scratch. So the scratching starts a beat, right? And beat is like a momentum of rhythm. And a momentum of rhythm sets a flow for an artist. So a hip-hop artist can start rapping and rhyming, right? But this rhythm works in everything. To start from scratch means that you just start with what you have. And then you start flowing, right? You use the tools that are present to you right now. And through creative thinking, you keep wondering, okay, what can I do with what I have to create what I want to see? That's how everything works. When I had that in my first exhibition, one day a woman came in and said, "Oh, I wish I could start painting, but it's such an expensive thing." And I told her the same story, and she was like, "Oh, interesting, I never heard that before." So you see, we have these different programs, what we need to make something, to make something possible. While actually all we need is what we already have. You need yourself. You need yourself well acknowledged. You need yourself well present in this moment. You need yourself to open up and recognize your capacities that can be only awakened through challenges most of the time. Well, ancient masters would say there are two ways to grow. One is through pain, and the second one through inner work, through inner research, like meditation, for example. But usually to activate ourselves, we have to have challenges, right? So when you're surrounded with people that don't support you, when you find yourself in environment that is not supportive for your growth, and you find yourself filled with all kinds of negative thoughts that are saying to you that you're unworthy, that you're not good enough, that you're incapable of, those are just challenges that are actually activating within you capacities of resilience, of adaptability, of creative thinking, of clear thinking, and self-love. That's what the challenges are teaching you. So when me and Maya have started on this journey, we were living in a place, we were living with her grandma, and that place was nice. We were living there for free, but it was really not supportive for what we were doing. So we said as soon as it will be possible, we want to move. We want to go to a new place. That's what we said. But we've learned that actually we need to appreciate where we are so we can stay inspired for what we're working on, right? We can't fight and resist to what is present, because with that we waste too much of our energy and then we can't invest it into what's important to us. So we have to keep reminding ourselves, it's perfectly well where I am right now, because that's where I start. This is the foundation. This is the foundation where I will start building my new life. And once we accept that, once we decide, okay, this is where I'm starting, you will stop fighting with your present situation. You may be somewhere where you don't want to be, and you can say, well, it sucks, it's bad, it's like, I hate this. Or you can say, okay, I don't like it, but this is where I'm starting. Today is the day where I'm beginning a project of a new self, a new life, a new reality. I will start today. And from today on, I will never stop working on this. When it gets hard, I will slow down. Because you only get into the process of worrying and being afraid because your brain becomes too chaotic because of your belief systems, because of your thinking patterns of what may happen. When we have financial struggles, for example, and we know we have to pay bills, worrying will not help us to find the solutions. We know eventually we will find solutions. We always do find them. If you look back into your past, you've always found solutions. Sometimes a little bit later, then it would be great, right? But you found them. Not through worrying, but through release of worrying. At some point you've recognized, okay, I have enough of this. Because worrying puts us into this negative spiral that is just increasing and increasing until we come to a certain point that we say, oh, it's enough. It's enough. I have enough of this. And that's where we find a solution. That's where we start looking for solutions. To me, that's how I came across meditation. I was Googling how to overcome fear, and I've come across meditation years ago. And that initiated for me a whole new era of self-researching, where I've started learning more about how this mental process works, how emotional process works, how, my etheric body works, the energy system, how everything works. And I got myself into a bunch of whole new knowledge where I started practicing all kinds of different things. But at the same time, I was studying the financial systems and taxes and how to build a business, because I wanted to make myself financially free. So we recognize life is complex and we shouldn't focus just on one thing. We should actually focus on many different things. If we want to make a living out of doing what we love, we sometimes also need to do what we hate, because that's the polarity of life, right? Until we acknowledge everything as a part of one thing and we recognize this is the part of the process of self-growth, right? Once we accept that all these different aspects are a part of self-growth, we notice that actually I'm okay also doing things that are hard. I'm okay also doing things I don't love, because only that way I can support what I love. So in the future, I will be able to do more of what I love, and I will be able to afford to pay someone that will do what I don't like to do, right? And that's again how we go through certain challenges only to find out what truly matters to us. So remind yourself, my friend, truly, that where you are right now is a perfect place to start. And some of you are already thriving financially or thriving at your business, and some of you are struggling financially or struggling in relationships. Some of you are saying, well, I am in a really toxic relationship. And until we truly say, okay, this is something I want to change, we'll never change, right? If I'm thriving here, let's see what else can I do. If it became easy, let's do something hard, right? That's how we challenge ourselves. So we expand, right? We're constantly expanding. We're like this rose of life, the symbol of a rose of life. It's made out of circles. It starts with one circle, and then you draw another circle and another circle and another circle, and you get a first layer of the rose of life. But then you start the second layer, and you start drawing circles, and then you start the third layer, and so on and so on. It's an infinite symbol that never ends. But it knows that it comes from one circle. It comes from one source. It started somewhere, and then it started growing. So when we are thinking about our lives, we can notice, well, when I became really good at something, maybe it's time to start another layer. What else can I learn? Where else can I expand myself? But we should never forget where we've started, right? So we constantly keep appreciating where we are. So we stay grateful for where we are. Like that symbol of rose of life that starts with one circle, that has started somewhere. Somewhere you've started drawing it, which means somewhere you've started from scratch, right? Because sometimes we may find ourselves already thriving, experiencing success, and we may forget where we've started, and we find ourselves being so hard on us because we want more. We want more success and more great relationships or whatever. And when we reflect where we've started, we humble ourselves. That's how we keep the balance. So make sure you keep balance in your life, my friend. Because balance is like, finding yourself flowing. You can't be, you can't flow if you're too much on one side, like a boat on a river. You can't flow with a boat if you're sitting too much on the right or too much on the left, right? You need to be in the middle. That's how you flow. And that's life, my friends. So I often remind myself where I've started this journey. Also, all the knowledge that we gain in life, most of it comes from our deepest struggles. So if we reflect on that, we also start appreciating struggles a little bit more, because we notice, well, this is the chapter of my life where I'm learning, where I'm growing, where I'm expanding. Any chapter ends somewhere. So we recognize, well, everything is fleeting. Everything is fleeting, right? If you're going through something hard, you know that everything is fleeting. It all shall pass. You know that. But at the same time, you're going through something really, really important, something major, really significant for your self-evolution. So acknowledge yourself. So rather than being hard on yourself because you think your life is not working, actually your life is going exactly how it needs to go. And just, take it a little bit easier. If you calm down your brain at least once in a day, you will calm down your nervous system. And what will happen? Your brain will go from beta brainwave frequency into alpha brainwave frequency. Let's say you meditate, you do some yoga nidra, you do something that relaxes you. If you do it for enough time, your brain will go into theta brainwave frequency. This is really a creative state. This is a state where you can hypnotize yourself, where you can actually change your belief systems. You can actually access deeper parts of your subconscious mind and visualize success and visualize the life you want to live. And what happens when you get back, your subconscious mind may start leading you into the direction of your dreams. That's how it works, and you start seeing signs, and right books are finding you synchronicities, like this video maybe, right? We come across all kinds of different synchronicities because we are hypnotizing ourselves for success. And you need to know that you can do it. You don't need to wait that somebody will help you. If you can help yourself, and when you actually start helping yourself, more people will appear in your life that will want to help you. Like in the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, he wrote that when you know what you want, the whole universe conspires to make things happen for you. So it just means that when you do your best, when you show up, when you do your work, when you keep expanding and growing and learning and being patient and being resilient and slowing down and loving yourself, accepting yourself, knowing that you're perfectly fine, that you deserve success. You deserve anything you want, anything you can set your mind to, you deserve it. That's why you can think about it, because you deserve it. If you would truly not deserve it, it would not be in your mind. It is in your mind because you deserve it. When you start thinking like that, you enrich on your life. Firstly, it starts in the mind, right? The first Hermetic principle, the world is mental. Everything is mind. Everything starts in the mind. So know, my friend, that wherever you are right now, you are in an important phase of your life that is offering something. You may be fighting with it and you say, well, it's bad and it's not what I wanted. Or you can be a bit easier on yourself and you can say, well, I've done something great and I'm doing something great and I'm learning something right now. And yeah, it may be hard and this situation may suck right now, but I will make it happen. I will make it happen because there is no other way. Sometimes we need to be really pushed so we find a way to break through. Sometimes life truly needs to put us into such a heavy position that we find no other way than to break through all the walls that we've created in our mental prison. I know because it happened to me in the past, and I know how hard it is sometimes. But at the end, we recognize that that's what we needed. So maybe you're not at the end yet. So I wanted to give you this because sometimes we need a gentle, a friendly reminder to accept where we are, because this is a part of our evolution. And it will pass. And if I do my best, I will train myself to do my best at anything I do. And if I train myself to do my best at anything I do, I will become good at anything I'm doing, right? And when I find something I'm really passionate about, I will know how to do my best at it, to do something great out of it, right? And you can do it. You're capable of it, and you deserve it. So I know how hard it is to change the belief, so I want to remind you that you're worthy of it, that you're enough as you are. And being, saying I am enough doesn't mean that I quit changing, I quit growing. When I say I am enough, means that I grow through compassion rather than through fight towards myself because I don't like myself. When I see a greater version of myself, I see more evolved version of myself, I will walk towards there through compassion, through self-love, through appreciating myself, because I know how hard it is to change sometimes, how hard it is to quit certain habits. That's why being kind towards yourself will help you to walk on that path a bit easier. It will still not be an easy path, but you will go there and walk towards it much easier. Because you will notice that it's completely okay when you fail. It's completely okay when it doesn't happen. It will happen. But it's completely fine if it doesn't. When somebody says something bad to you, well, okay. Some people don't understand you, or maybe you needed to hear it. You don't know. You will know in the future. But being more compassionate towards yourself will open up your eyes a little bit more to see more beauty, to see that the process you're going through is meant to be. It's not a burden, it's a blessing, my friend. So this is it for today. I hope you found something valuable, my friend. Thanks to all of you for supporting my art. Today you've been watching The Rose That Grows Through the Concrete, a perfect painting for today's video. So my friends, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you would love to support my art, you can find the link in the description of this video to our Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. You can find my art there. Thank you so much for your support. With that, you're supporting this mission. Until next time, one love.